Hello, Just Jax here and welcome to my channel. And today we are back with the UV resin. Well, this is going to be the UV resin part of this video. We're then going to do an epoxy part, which will either be part of the same video or it'll be a second part by itself. I've had an idea and I really hope I can pull it off. So that's why I'm going to be doing UV resin with a Vida Rosa and epoxy resin with, I think it's either Janchun or Resin Glory. I've got two to try. Now, the idea that I had in mind involved a frog and lots of googly eyes. Now, I said in the end of the last two colour-based ones, I want to try inserting things. I did a little dabble with inserting the other day with a sort of mixed result. It's my little brain with the cogs in, which you can see really clearly from the bottom because the mould was a foggy, well, not shiny mould. It's not shiny or very clear from the brain side. This one is a shiny mould and we're going to try and do it a little bit different. Now, I've already I haven't set them, but I've placed two googly eyes where his eyes are. So I'm going to try and get a little bit of resin down there, a little bit of UV resin, and set them just in place. Then what I plan to do is cover the entirety of his body, at least anyway, in the googly eyes. That's what I'm going to try and do. Maybe even in his little sucker bits as well. That would be pretty cool. So I've got tweezers. I've got the torch. And I've got the UV resin. Because what I want to try and do is put a little layer in. Drop a couple of eyes in place. Set it. And keep going. Because if I put a pool to cover his entire back, it's all going to swish into the bottom there. And I want these eyes right by the surface. So that's what I plan to do today. And then when I do the epoxy, I'm going to tint it a colour. I'm undecided yet. Green's the obvious colour, and I might go with that. We'll see. And then pour that in the rest. So when you see beyond the eyes, there's a colour beyond there. So yeah, that's the plan. Let's see if we can get it to work. So I think what I'm going to do first is try and get just the tiniest dot in there. Yeah, in there and in there to hold those eyes in place. And then I'm going to try and fill the body here. So let's try. There's going to be a lot of trying today and do this. So we only want a little bit just to hold the eye in place. So just a little bit. I need to come in this side as well. Right, I think I'm going to do them one at a time. I don't mind if there's a little splidge here or there. Hopefully that's going to be enough just to hold the eye in place. So I'm going to build it up and up and up. And then I'll set it properly. I just need it to be set enough to hold things in place to begin with. And hopefully his eyes won't fall out. So hopefully that'll be enough just to hold that eye in place so I can come over here and do the same again. Hopefully just enough just to hold the eye in place. So there's a little spludge here and there. It's just to hold it in place. That's what I have to keep telling myself. And I might remove the little bits that have sunk into the back. So hopefully his eyes don't look like they're in too bad of a place there. Right. Let's just get that little bit out of the way. I think it's probably dry enough just to, yeah, just to move off. Because we don't need those. Pop you over there. Now, this is going to be the tricky bit. Potentially anyway. It might work super easy. It might not. We'll see. Let's just make sure there's no debris anywhere. Right, so I'm going to just start in the middle. I'm going to put a little of this down first. And I'm going to try and start putting some eyes in there. I've got some kitchen roll to hand so I can keep cleaning as I'm going. I'll get a few of these on the table here. I'll get some different sizes involved in a moment. So I had a look online and found a bunch of the smallest eyes I could find. And I've got some very, very tiny ones here. I think these were the smallest I could find. I think they were 3mm. These might be somewhat more tricky to get in place. This is one of those things, it's going to be worth it if I can get it to work. Actually, I might get this tool involved as well. If I can get this to work, it's going to be so cool. It's just going to be a little bit time consuming. Especially with these super, super tiny ones. They're going to be really hard to pick up and drop in place. Try and put a couple in at once. Right. I've got to try and get a couple more in here. I may or may not speed this footage up, we'll see, because I think it's going to take quite a while. This is a very, very fiddly project. Or I might just cut to towards the end when I've got all the eyes where I want them. Right, I think we'll set that and then we'll look at doing the next bit. This is going to be really cool if it works. Right. So this is what I'm going to be doing for probably the next half an hour to an hour. So we'll be back in a second. Right, just thought I'd check in with you all. This is about an hour later and I'm just over halfway done. So back in probably about an hour's time for me. But it's gonna look good when it's done. It's looking promising now. How cool does that look? And that's just the underside. I can't wait to get this to the point of done so we can release it from the mould and see the glory that hopefully will be the eyeball frog. Okay, about 2 hours later, and we have just about done all we plan on doing as far as the UV resin goes. We have totally lined him, well, his back anyway, got his 2 eyeballs in and put a super tiny one in each of his sucker tips. So I'm going to let this cure, and when we come back we'll be on the bigger camera up there and we will be mixing up some colour to be decided epoxy resin to fill him all in. And then the day after will be the reveal. And my little Marley's telling me that she needs the toilet. So we are going to leave it here right now. This will all be one video because this took so long to do without recording that I can afford, since I just did highlights, to pop this at the beginning of the epoxy side of things. I'm really looking forward to see how this comes out. Right, we have got Mr. Frog ready and waiting. Epoxy resin warming up as we speak. Matte warming up now because I figured it may as well. Right, and I have got these colours to try. Liquid colours, I think. I don't know if they're alcohol or not. Just epoxy resin pigment. But it's the YRYMHT brand. And I know the resin is good. I don't know about the colours. I guess we'll find out. I want green specifically. What we got? We've got malachite green, peridot green. Any other greens? I think peridot green we'll go with. It looks like it's going to be lighter. Yeah, we'll go with the peridot green, but we'll keep the other one out just in case. So I've never tried mixing this stuff in before. So let's find out. I'm going to grab the epoxy. Okay, and the brand I'm using today, it's a 1-to-1 ratio again, and this is Resin Glory that I'm trying today. So let's see how it goes. So what have we got here? We have got the resin. Now we're gonna go for 30-30, see how far that takes us. 40-40 might be a bit much. Can I get into this? I have to go the old school way, sticking the nail in. Let's pop that there for now. So I'm going to come all the way down here so I can actually see. Yeah, I will go 30-30 to begin with. Tiny drop more. Let's put that up there. And hardener. Put that over there. And same again. Just to there. Yep. Looking bubble free, so I've warmed it up, followed the instructions. So now I'm going to add the hardener to the resin. And this one says to stir for 3 to 5 minutes. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stir for the 5 minutes. Put that over there for a second. So let's add, we'll add 2 drops. See how that looks. I think we can afford to add a few more drops. Alright, I add 10 drops. So let's see how this looks once it's stirred. It's looking like it's stirred thoroughly. Let's try that. So yeah, I think we're going to need 1 more. But it's looking really cool. It's a really, really nice green. Let's press that back in there for a second. I think he's as full as we need him. Now, that last little bit that's left, we're just going to have an experiment with. I don't think it's going to be enough to fill this, but we're just going to let it do its thing anyway. Right, the experiment, let's just pick a colour that's going to work alongside green. Alright, let's try and poke a bit more of a controlled hole in this one. We'll see what happens if I put a drop of colour in and just let it do that. And this. And I'm going to clean up, so I've got to take my girls out. And then this. I'm going to swirl it. Oh, again, went a bit far. I'll have to get a special needle just for this. That's looking really cool. I think I should just leave it to do its thing, shouldn't I? I'm going to give it a swirl. Oh, I like what it's doing though. It's just, oh, it's doing some cool things. Should I just leave it? It's doing some really cool things. I kind of don't want to interfere with it now that it's just dispersing like that. We'll leave one side to do its thing, and this side I'm gonna, like a lily pad. Right, I'm gonna leave that at that. See what happens. That's our experiment with dripping colour in. I'm gonna cover this up, clear up, put away, and get my girls out. I've got to sleep because I'm on nights tonight. So let's just get that one there, like that. Turn this up. And fingers crossed, we will have some really cool things when I come back. Okay, we are back, and it is moment of truth. So let's just, I always forget how exactly this folds, like that. There we go. So I've took that one out of the way because that's not for YouTube eyes right now. That'll be eventually something that I can show when there's a restricted audience. I want to keep this child friendly, and that one was a meat and two veg monster. So, mixed results. The colour in this all sucked into the middle there. But I think what I needed to do with that colour was add it after it had not set, but when it had started to thicken up a little bit so it'd stay in its respective areas. So we'll crack the coaster out first and see what we've got. We've got bubbles. I can see them now. But it is cured. It's come away from the mould fine. And it's definitely interesting looking. We've definitely got to work on the bubble situation, but that's where I need to be not so eager. And this was towards the end as well. And get my heat gun out, because I do have a heat gun. I keep forgetting to get it out. So we do have bubbles. We have a coaster with an interesting design. Not quite what it was when I put it in there. But that was my first time playing with those colours in that way of dropping them in. So, learning curve. Though it is flat and it can be used as a coaster. So, and the mould is nice and clean. Now, what we're really here for, has the frog worked? Let's find out. I'm going to tease him away a bit at a time, because this is the first time that I've tried doing UV and epoxy. Everything seems to, well, these bits have anyway. Okay. This might not be the most graceful mould releasing. I'm going to try not to snap his legs. Oh my goodness. This looks really cool. Can I get his head out? Oh, it worked. Oh, it worked. And his eyes are actually where they're meant to be. Oh, that has come out so cool. Oh, that was worth the 2 hours that it took to put them in. The only thing that I would change, because I left them in there, was those 2 drops of UV resin. So they look like bubbles, but they're not bubbles. It's just where the UV resin was. Oh, he looks so cool. I'm going to have to get my phone out on him. And the mould has come away nice and clean. There's nothing left on there, nothing left where it shouldn't be. And the colour ratio works well. And there's only 1 bubble that I can see on initial inspection. Oh, this is just incredible. Oh, I love it. Let me get this out so you can see. I can't believe he worked. Where are we? There he is. Look at him. How cool has he come out? He is so cool. He is so nice and smooth, and that colour. See, there's the one right there, bubble that I can see. There might be, I think there's a little bubble behind his eye, and up in there somewhere. But apart from that, oh, he is so cool. I think we need a little bit more pigment in the feet, or to use the powders and line the mould with the powders first. That is so cool. His eyes are actually pretty level. I'm so pleased that worked. Oh, I love him. I'm going to buff him up and find somewhere really, really nice. Oh, he's so smooth. And those liquid colours, those liquid pigments, really nice. I think up close you can see he's not bubble free, but that's where I need to get the heat gun out. But he looks so cool. And that is what I wanted, so you can have the green behind the eyes. And that's where, there and there were 2 drops of UV resin that I should have removed. That's cool, you can see how clear he is. You can see my fingers. Oh, I can't believe it. I love him. He is so cool. Success. All right, we can approach this technique with a lot more confidence now. Thank you, Mr. Froggy. And just a brief glance, even though this wasn't what we're here for. That didn't quite work. And you can see it is riddled with bubbles. But that was the last bit going, and like I said, I didn't have my heat gun out, so I knew that wasn't going to come out perfect. And the colour definitely wasn't like that when we put it in there. Okay, if I hold it like that, there we go. You can see one random speck of white. So next time we try and play with colour and clear, because that's what we've got to do next, really. Well, there's some more insertion to go in, because, oh, I have ideas. And I love that, and I love the sound. Don't know if you can just about hear that. Yep, the frog is a winner. Right. How cool is he? Right, so I'm going to clear away. This was a big success. I absolutely love him. I can't get over how cool he is. He is so, so smooth. And resin enthusiasts out there would have already known that this was going to work. I'm still quite new to the game, so I was hoping from what I read that the UV cross with the epoxy would work. I still didn't quite know until I tried it. Now I know. So that has opened up a whole new pathway for us. So, yeah. Thank you all so much for stopping by and checking me and my channel out. I do hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's given you ideas, and I hope you love the little froggy. He is very cute. The little eyeball frog. Yeah, like if you like what you see, comment if you've got something to say, and subscribe if you really like what you see and you want to see more and know when it's coming. Thank you all again so, so much. Success. Better luck next time. Take care. And see you in the next one.